Hi, everybody. It's
Hello.
Sunday. It's Sunday, and OG co-host LJ Ruiz is back. Seriously, and of course he's back because if you're going to have a wrestling show and Punk seen as the main event, I don't know. We're gonna get into it with LJ because for sure Punk and Cena are his favorites. So I'm dying to know what was going on while you're watching this, but we'll get into that in a minute. But every time so we decided it's best to do this morning and do like a brunch edition because when the WWE goes overseas, it's a lot of people are not watching it like we are at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, because there's like a 8-9 hour time difference. I thought it was better to get everybody caught up, situated, because and I didn't want to ruin it either on my website. I know a lot of the wrestling sites were. But I was like, if I was a fan, do I want to read this right now? If I haven't seen it.
I mean, first, before we talk about the actual PLE, I love these 1 o'clock starts for Eastern. I don't know what. I love waking up and just watching it, and then having the rest of my day to do whatever I want instead of waiting till 8 p.m. and then it's over, and then I have to go to sleep because I'm tired. But it's when something about when it's daytime outside and I'm just chilling there on the couch, it feels so much more relaxed than when I'm watching it at nighttime. I don't know what it's about.
It's probably just fitting it into your schedule.
It's just I'm not on Saturdays. I'm not doing much of this time ever, so it's kind of perfect.
Well, I want to take this in chronological order. We will be doing that, but I want to say on this note, it was interesting at the very end of the night in the post show with Triple H. He basically said Punk grew up, and he was kind of a nod to the fact that he acknowledged and apologized about his stance.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's growing up or shit.
There's or realizing that better go. I shouldn't burn all my bridges before they're done with.
Okay, DJ Dark said, wait, you like Days of Our Lives in wrestling? I thought it was the only one. No, DJ, you are not the only one. Because as we said on the show, I truly believe wrestling is a soap opera in the ring.
Yeah.
I don't really see the difference other than this is athleticism and putting your bodies on the line, but I see no difference. It's a continuing story, and there's a cliffhanger at the end of every episode of SmackDown.
People always talk about how they compare this to action movies and stuff. I personally think that wrestling is more aligned with, like you said, soap operas and live action Broadways, with just physical parts of it. That's really it's more of that than it is of a movie, because it's live, so it's happening as you're watching it. It's not happening recorded and then edited and then posted. So I think that's what I always tell people.
And DJ Dark said, yes, it's similar in many, many ways, even bringing back the veterans. Yes, to your point, here we are, Cena's back, the veteran, he's come back. We always wait for these comebacks, which is the very same with soap operas. So-and-so just came back, and we haven't seen her. We thought she was killed off.
Yeah.
And then she's alive, back from the dead.
Somehow.
Somehow. So it is very, very similar. All right. So getting into this, we'll start with King of the Ring. And I wanted to know, first of all, what I thought was amazing. Sorry. I keep thinking, I meant Cody. Is the electric entrances of Cody and Randy and the crowd with the flash, the lights.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think of? They kind of went nuts for Randy.
Well, what I was going to say before was that I don't know if you remember, because it was 9 years ago that they had the first Saudi Arabia event, and the first 3 or 4, it wasn't a crowd. There was no crowd. They made no noise. Honestly, the shows kind of sucked because all they did was put all the legends on it because they thought they had to do that for the crowd to be interested and put all the main guys that they know. And now you look at it, they possibly have a top 3 crowd of all time. The fan base over there is so diehard. It's actually I was not expecting that at all. They were going insane the whole show.
But that first entrance with Randy
Orton,
I felt crazy. Randy went over bigger.
And I feel you could see in Randy's face he was getting a little pumped up. He was damn, this is it was having him up a little bit.
Absolutely. I thought he got more of an ovation than Cody.
Yeah, and in the match he was getting
more than Cody.
More cheers than Cody did.
Yeah. So during this match, I was very puzzled because Cody was kind of, I felt dirty pool in, attacking the back of Orton. And then there was this move.
Yeah.
Bending him backwards. What did you think of that? Were you like, okay, what are we seeing here? Is Cody just being aggressive, or is there a turn, or like what?
Like I think subconsciously I like, because of when I grew up watching wrestling, like Orton is like my he's like if your favorite wrestler is like Shawn Michaels, then he's like Bret Hart. Like he was like the rival to Cena so my whole life. So but I actually always liked him. Like I always thought he was like super cool and stuff. So I did want him to win. Like I was rooting for him this match. So every time Cody was doing something like that, I was just hoping I was hoping Cody turned heel, because I don't want Orton to turn heel again. Because I think his run as a face is so well, but I think it's bound to happen. And even though we're getting the little teases from Cody, I feel like it's not. I don't think they're gonna do it only because of the sales and the kids and all that stuff. I just can't see.
I don't know. I was gonna say, though, you saw that recent interview that they got with him at the Fanatics thing. I think it was at the Fanatics Fest, and he said, "I see a heel turn coming, maybe in a year, maybe 3." I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
And then when I saw this, I'm like, well, wait, and because now, which we'll get into, I'm like, if it's Cody Cena, like that's an interesting like.
Yeah.
Could there be a double turn? Which are both people.
That's what everyone keeps saying, that it's now going to be if it does happen, it'll be a double turn, because they're already teasing it with him too. So I
could see it.
Excited. Yeah.
But now here we have Randy going dirty, taking the turnbuckle off, the padding. And now I'm like, how does it dissolve? Obviously, when you have 2 fan favorites, you have to dissolve it into somebody doing bad shit. And like, they both were guilty of it, but then by the end, Randy was the dirtier player. So he ends up, and then there's this. Can we just look at Charles Robinson? I have to say, I think he's the best.
He's the MVP. He was the MVP of yesterday.
MVP, LJ. He was my pick. Like I think he gets more of a workout than the other guys.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, I thought he was the MVP of the whole show.
Most of the, I feel like most of the matches that, in history, in recent history, even at his age, that end up having some type of interaction with the referee, it's him that's in the ring. And that might just because he's so experienced that they trust him to do the stuff that's actually, because now when you're a ref and you're just in the match and you count 1, 2, 3, you're not really a part of the story. These guys, these refs that do this are they have to be on their cue, or it ruins everything.
You have to understand, having the refs are the key to the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because they have the headpiece. Everything. They're calling the action from the
it's honestly
gorilla position.
Crazy.
It's crazy what they have to do. I would think that would be really interesting and a terrifying job at the same time.
Yeah. Because it's cool because you're still in there and you still get to be a part of the show, which is really cool.
So Double C is saying Randy turning heel, ain't no way Randy's just going to be okay losing to Cody. Yes. Yeah.
But my thing is, so do you think that, I do think he's going to turn heel, but.
Wait, hold on, LJ. Here we go. There's the growl. Okay. There's the shit. They constantly did the camera position where we went back to him after the match. They didn't enter, and he's losing it, his shit.
I think cool. I feel like it was kind of cool, the angle where it was Cody and you could see Orton in the distant background. It's you always felt like he was going to slide out from under the ring and RKO him. So it was I
thought that's what would happen, but I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say was that I don't. Yeah, let's say Randy turns heel on Cody. Is that the Mania match? Is that? But they already fought, so I feel like him turning heel doesn't really do much for their story because they fought already. And how much you really gotta watch it again unless Cody's the champion, because then you can add that layer to it. But I feel like if he's not the champion, it doesn't really make much sense to have him turn heel on him and then fight him again for not really much.
Unless if we're setting up for SummerSlam, Cody, John, and somehow Randy is the one
in there,
appearance and screws over Cody. But it was weird because not weird, but interesting because I thought this could be everyone could turn heel here. Cody looked very heelish to me at the beginning, and then Randy looked like I'm done with this. Do you not like Randy better as a heel?
I like kind of where he's at right now. I think he's better as a heel, I guess, character wise, but I think he's on one of his best runs. I feel like in a while, just because he doesn't really have to have a type to be like. He's just kind of there RKOing people, and no one cares. Like he RKO's all this and
Everybody.
and all these people and Cena, and like no one cares that he's doing it. So it's kind of cool because he's doing a little bit of both. But the reason I think I would personally rather Cody turn heel is because then you can have them still fight each other, because it's the other way around. It's just like Cena and Punk. Now it adds, just because you've seen it 4 times doesn't mean you can't see it a 5th time, because it's flipped around. I just don't really have interest in seeing a babyface Cody against a heel Orton.
Personally, I was wishing Cody would. This is DJ Dark. Personally, I was wishing Cody would turn heel, because he comes off like one to me anyway. But I get how that might not make business sense right now. I thought he came off heelish too in this match.
Yeah, or like him not even like thinking twice about hitting him in the turnbuckle. Like he threw him in there. Like
he threw him in there and he punched him in the back. And I was like, Zephyr is saying, "Hi, Michael and LJ. I'm glad to have the chance to see you live. I usually can't because you're live. It's late here in France." Well, it's great to have you here from France. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with these time zones.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that there's even more. They even went further into the Perth, Australia, announcing 3 nights in Perth.
And then now you got Rumble in Saudi Arabia next year, which is crazy to me.
I think it's going to become less and less that America.
I think it's going to be like, even though Rumble's going there, I feel like it's going to be like they're going to be in Europe a lot, but for a fact that like WrestleMania is always going to stay in America. I feel like they're going to always have WrestleMania in these big American stadiums, just because that's like their thing. So I feel like they're not going to really give that up to any other place.
So at the end of that all, Cody reigns supreme. He's the king. He defeats Orton. And then they do an interview with him, which is, I think they did one other time when they did King of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. They interviewed the winner in the ring. And do you want to see Cody regain the belt?
No. And I have no interest of him winning. Everyone knew he was going to win, even though it was still Randy Orton. So what I said yesterday, this is how I feel about the whole situation. I knew that the plan, like a guy like Cody, he's great. Like, I have no problem with him. I just don't want him to win because I like Cena. So as a fan, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like as a business and a product, when you have you wanted to get your Cody Orton match out, and like it was good. It was probably the best match of the night, and I was really interested in it. But I felt like when you have a situation like this where everyone knew Cody was going to win, unless there was some random interference from somebody, I feel like it was better off using King of the Ring to like have somebody else as the
winner. The winner.
Not even the winner. Like, if you knew Cody was going to, like, we all knew Cody was going to win, he didn't have to beat Orton. Like, you could have given somebody else the chance to like fight against him in the finals to bring him up a little bit. Like a Cody Carmelo Hayes final, just because
God, I can't take my Carmelo losing in every match.
No, or a Penta, just to have a different matchup that is there.
Elevate them to be in a big
because
match.
Like him beating Orton, it doesn't hurt Orton at all. But like it's like we all knew he was gonna win, and it sucks because it has to be at the cost of Randy Orton. So like I didn't really want that to happen, but I knew he was gonna win, and I mean I'm excited because the storyline looks interesting. So I definitely don't know how they're gonna go about it, but I guess we get to see Cena Cody too again.
All right, so grading this match, it was a good match, I thought.
Yeah. I liked it. I guess the ending was the only problem I had with it. I thought it was kind of lame.
I didn't like the fact that he went for the turn, but I didn't like the end.
I also just didn't like that he had two RKOs and then one crossroads and it's over. Like I don't know. I thought I'll give it like a B-.
I got it. I'm giving it a B.
Yeah, I
feel you. I feel you.
The ending is the only thing that like brought it down because it felt really like abrupt. It was like, oh, it's over. Like I didn't think it was gonna be over after that.
Yeah. So then we get the Riyadh Boulevard street fight with Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez, and I want to say first, what did you think of it? I didn't think it was that bad. Here's Raquel coming in.
I have been pleasantly, and I'm very vocal about this, I've been very pleasantly surprised with the work that Raquel's putting in right now.
I'm not, because I felt like she got never got pushed.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with her. I originally liked her. I know we talked about this a couple years ago. I thought she was really good and Wasted, even
Yeah.
as face. And
Yeah.
then they kind of like, and now I think she's getting her shot because Liv is
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. And I think that's honestly like not the like yeah, I feel bad that she's out, but like it's not really the worst thing for her. And I really do think this is the best work she's done. I think it
Have you visited Liv?
I gotta see what hospital she's at.
Yeah.
I definitely think that this character she has is the most natural to her. I really like it. I enjoy it. I like the whole stuff with the Judgment Day, but I definitely would not mind seeing her like in the title picture at some point, like whether it's for the US or the main one or anything. Because I think she put on a great match with her. I actually thought that was I thought this was the like 1A and 1B of the night. Like I thought it was great. And the power bomb through the table was crazy.
And before we get to the power bomb, I feel like the girls were like, we're gonna do this a little more than like I saw it looking like we're gonna go all the way for this.
Yeah,
you know.
I loved the match. I've always like Rhea's great. Like I don't think Rhea has a lot of bad matches like with anybody, but to see Raquel doing that in there and like going like all out, there was a part of me where I was like, I know it's not gonna happen, but I was like, I really want Raquel to just win this match right now. Like I was really hoping it just happened for some reason.
I thought that would have been a really, really interesting. Like that would have been amazing if she did it.
I also really like her finisher, the Tejada Bomb. I think it's like really cool.
Such a great finisher. And the thing I wanted to ask you was there was the whole thing, that table being on that top rope and like dangling there. Yeah. I literally thought we're gonna have two people out injured.
Yeah.
It was so.
Yeah, I don't really know who pitched that, but I was like, I guess it makes sense. But when you really think about it, it's like not. Like the table's on top of there, but if they were just standing on the turnbuckle, it's the same height. It just looks cooler.
Didn't Rhea say in the post show she was worried about that move?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to come like.
I thought that when they were going to jump off, it was going to fall off and they were going to just slip off of it, like the other way, like towards the outside of the ring.
Zephyr says, is it just me or finishers don't feel like finishers anymore? Everyone kicks out of the big moves now, and I feel like it diminishes the impact and credibility of the finishing move. What do you think, LJ? Are they not credible finishers
anymore? Definitely people talk about this a lot, that's kind of like funny he said that. On my X, I get it a lot about people saying that they feel like there's even in like AEW obviously more, but in WWE now that like they kick out of weight, like Jey Uso doing the super kick 85 times in a match. Like it's more. I liked when people had their whole match, they were trying to figure out how to counter the move instead of just kicking out of four of them. I think that's cooler because it has more of a psychological play into it of like, you can't do your finishing move on me because I keep countering it. Not, I'm going to let you do it because I'm just going to kick out 4 times. I think I only really like it when there's like a lot of kickouts and stuff when it's like Cena and Punk, when it's like guys that have been for so long. But when it's like,
I think the problem I have is some of these finishers, when they're done in any of these matches, seem so targeted that you're like, okay, here it comes. And it just feels like it didn't even feel like it really did anything to the other person.
Yeah.
You know? So back to the match, Rhea wins, holding her ribs, which I think she injured. So I thought this was like I give this an A. I thought it was really entertaining.
I also was going to give it an A, and I was also going to say, I think they're going to set up. So Nikki was supposed to fight Liv at Evolution, but I think they were thinking about doing a tag team instead. But I think the reason they have Raquel fighting her, I think they're going to do Raquel and Roxanne versus
Rhea,
Nikki and Rhea. I think that's what they're going to end up doing.
I think that makes the most.
I'm kind of interested in because I think that's kind of cool especially for like a pay-per-view for like that. So
what's your feeling about everybody? It wasn't Nikki Bella getting a lot of weren't people trashing her because they think she's kind of useless in the ring at this point?
I think they're trying to diminish like what she did like in her time, but I think that's actually like very wrong because I think that just because she wasn't the greatest wrestler in the world, she really did put like women's wrestling on the map when it came to like the exposure of like the first ever women's pay-per-view, all women's pay-per-view, she main evented. They wouldn't put her there to main event like it's Ronda Rousey for no reason. Like when you go talk to somebody that doesn't watch wrestling and you say Liv Morgan, they might not know what you're talking about. But if you say Nikki Bella, they know who that is.
Right.
She's very popular. Like she has
Right.
all these reality shows and stuff. And
Were you rooting for Cena and Bella to end up together, or did you think
at the time I was, but obviously not anymore. But at the time, I always thought that was cool. That was cool. The public proposal was a little corny to me, but
I hated that.
Yeah,
I hated that. I just felt it also reality TV.
No, but it felt like supposedly I found like they ended up saying that they'd been engaged. It was just for the show.
Right.
Yeah, it was just to redo it.
Okay. I don't hate Nikki. Thank you, LJ. I 100% agree with you.
No problem.
I don't get the Nikki hate. Yeah.
Yeah, neither do I. I've actually like
I like Nikki. I mean, I'm
gonna go show you. I'm gonna go grab this for you real quick.
Okay. Hold on, everybody. I kind of agree too. I think Nikki, the Bellas did make an impact. Okay. What do you have? I can't see them.
Wait, let's see. Wait. Oh, wait. Let me turn my background off for a second.
Okay. Oh. There you go.
They were right next to each other. I forgot.
Are you hoping for a reconciliation sometime?
But yeah, like I always like she was always like one of my favorite like people to watch in general because I thought that she just put it on the map. Like that whole Divas run that she's the longest reigning Divas champion. Like that's like something that people can't say about anything. So
they did help. I mean, they did. I mean, it is kind of weird. They did help. You have to realize how awful back when I was younger. The women were in bra and panties matches.
Yeah, and it's weird because like women's wrestling was like it wasn't like really like flowing because they had the bra and panty matches when you used to watch it, and then they had a little bit of time where it was Trish and Lita that were putting on crazy matches, and then it went back to how it was.
And then it went back.
It went to like the Kelly and like those kind of people. They literally like forgot that happened, and then they went to that.
Right. I think that was just helped the WWE be relevant too.
And people were mad because they had Io Sky tell her that she paved the way for her. And they were like, Io was literally like a champion before Nikki even started wrestling. Like that was like in wherever she was. So I get why that was, I guess, corny, but I don't mind it. I don't see why people have to hate on people that they're Hall of Famers for a reason. I definitely don't think, personally, I don't think Brie is at her level. I mean, there's a reason she's not there. There's a reason Nikki is. Like Nikki's
a better.
Yeah, I mean, like she was always she was the only one that was champion. Brie never won the championship, so it like.
She had good matches against the likes of Natalya, Naomi, Paige, AJ Lee, and that's what he said.
Yeah. One of her best matches was against AJ Lee. It was another person that I wish was around and could fight, but doesn't want to.
Lita and Trish, I agree. Lita and Trish set the bar of women wrestling.
Yeah.
They really did, and I was there. Back in the day when I was with the WWE as a writer, and I know. But Lita was out with her injury, but they were amazing together.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like when you think about it, like Lita and like the whole Hardy Boys thing when she was with them for a while, like it's very similar to what they do now with like Liv and like the Judgment Day and stuff like that. Like with the girls joining the tag teams that are at the top of the card at that point.
So then we have the United States Championship, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, which turned into like, all right.
The Bloodline rules kind of.
Bloodline rules is coming back. So we started off with the face-off in the ring. I love Jacob Fatu.
Also, I was going to say, I don't think it's an outlandish statement to say that I think Jacob Fatu might be the biggest babyface in like all of wrestling.
I also think to that
he's enormous right now. It's crazy.
Enormous. And I also think first I was like pissed about this ending, but I know why. They could put Jacob in a run for the WWE Championship. That's where I think this is going. I think he's going to go for the Gunther Championship.
I honestly really liked the ending because I thought that
I like the ending from
I personally, I think that the Solo run right now is hilarious. Like he figured out what his gimmick is, and I like it a lot. I like that the gimmick is kind of like anybody that's ever been involved in the family. I'm bringing you in. I don't care what you do. You're now joining me.
He figured it out because I was so incredibly bored with him.
Yeah,
I literally would tell.
He wasn't even like on the show for a while.
But when he was on the show,
yeah,
in the initial run of Bloodline 2.0, I thought he was boring as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's fine-tuned the character because he's almost comic relief.
No, and it's great. And it's honestly great.
Great ways. Timing is great.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. He figured it out. Now it's like the whole story is great because of him.
Because like I know that they didn't want to like just get rid of like the bloodline, even though it's like basically over, like that whole Roman Reigns saga and Cody and all those things. But to have him still running this other one, and he does levitate these other people that he's with, like I don't know what they're calling him because they didn't say his name yet. His name.
Oh, I know that. I have it.
They did change it.
They did. So we'll get 1 second. I just wanted to say, how great is this?
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable. So in the match, first we get Tongaloa coming back, and I want to make sure we get all the Tangas set.
Yeah.
Tonga, he had the same injury I did. He tore his bicep.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. So I was a little surprised he came back this soon.
It wasn't even like a full year. So
I was out for 10 months.
Yeah, it was definitely sooner. It was like I think 7 or 8.
Maybe he's younger, and that's why.
He's a Samoan.
Yeah, he's a Samoan. Yeah. So then, shocker shocks happens, and they are naming him Tala Tonga.
Is it because he's taller? Is that the?
Oh no, but there's Tala Tonga, Tongaloa, and
Tonga. Yeah.
Shoot me
and
now.
Then JC Mateo.
JC Mateo, which is really weird to me, that whole thing, because how did AEW botch him too?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy.
I wanted to call you and go, why is this no, they just let him. What was the point?
Like, I had no idea that he wrestled. Didn't he wrestle like Kenny Omega on like a show?
Yeah.
Like that's insane. Like
they have him in like these matches as Jeff whatever, and then he's like, all of a sudden he's gone.
Yeah.
And he's here, and he never got any push.
Yeah. And now he's in a title like scenario, like with like Solo, which is cool. So I like that.
Solo's calling you.
Yeah, Solo is calling.
Is that your hotline for the bloodline? I was gonna say
call Roman Reigns.
Call Roman Reigns. Okay. Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring this up, but now you brought it up. Okay. He's got the movie role.
Street Fighter, which is good. That's a great title.
So great. I think he's going to be great, and I think he's going to have a career in acting. Does he come back at SummerSlam? What happens here? Because he's got to shoot the film in August in Australia.
Yeah. Or I don't think he is personally. I think they're going to wait till Mania. I don't think they're
a full year.
I just don't see like. What I told my uncle yesterday, and I was like, listen, like everybody, like people like Roman, he has like a good fan base, but personally, like right now, he's really not needed in any of the story. Like, I don't think we need him on the card for it to be a good card. Like, I think all the storylines right now are rolling really well. That you can throw him into literally anything and it's gonna work because that's how good he is. But I don't think it's gonna be like, damn, he didn't show up at SummerSlam. It's a bad card now. Like, I don't think we're.
No, I don't either. But. There is a problem. He did get screwed over by Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be retribution.
Or what I personally think
Seth next year.
What I think no matter what we're getting, I think we're getting no matter when it happens, we're getting a champion Seth Rollins versus a challenger Roman.
I do too.
Some pay-per-view. I don't know if they're gonna do Mania or I don't know yet.
That's gonna be huge,
but it has to be that with the whole Paul Heyman situation. It just has to be.
It has to be that. And they're saying, okay, Zephyr Solo is funny as hell. He acts like a total jerk. That's right. And then double C, all those Samoans, I love it. Roman got more cousins than me.
No, it's really crazy.
So the question I have, LJ, is so you have a baby in this family, and then they all grow up to be wrestlers?
I know it's insane. It's crazy.
And I was looking at the family tree of Talaloa Lenga Tanga Tanga, and everybody was like a cousin of the cousin of the cousin of
it's all like, it's just like, as long as you're within 8 generations, you can be.
And how does JC Mateo fit in?
I think they just had to throw him in there because I think
they needed somebody.
They needed like the bruiser in the team to replace I think to replace like what's his name? Fatu from leaving. So it's like the bigger guy that left. So now Jeff Cobb is that guy.
Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb, who's JC Mateo. And there's the win and our new Bloodline 3.0. Is that what we're calling them now?
2.5.
2.5. And
then you have then you still have in the back right corner, it's going to be Tama Tonga. Yeah.
So he's going to be back. So there's going to be all of them.
I don't mind. Personally, I did not mind this only because I think that it changes up the story a little bit. And I was saying that it's kind of crazy because usually you say this like later in the career, like Fatu doesn't, like, he's at the point where he literally doesn't even need a championship anymore to be over. Like, he's so over that I think he's beneath the U.S. title picture. Like, I know they're gonna run this back probably at SummerSlam because like that's the way they're gonna do it. And if I had a prediction, I think it's gonna end up being Zilla, Fatu, and then Jimmy and Jay. I think we're gonna get a reunion between Jimmy and Jay, and they're gonna help Fatu out against these people.
Right. It'll be like a
semi Bloodline rules, but now with
Bloodline rules,
now with Fatu as the main guy.
Or does this all go into War Games again? And
the only reason I would say it's not
comes back to War Games, and
the only reason I would say it's not War Games is because my prediction for War Games is Seth's group against like Roman and Punk, and like they're little people that they're going to bring together.
People.
Yeah. Like, I can see, like, I personally would love this, even though they're not going to do it. Like, I would love if we got like a War Games and it was like Seth's group and Cena, because he's a heel, against like Roman, Punk, and like all the guys they screwed over, like Penta and Sami and all those guys. That'd be really fun.
I got to get to the Penta thing in a minute, but I feel really bad. I'm like, where's Rey Fenix?
Yeah. Well, he had the match of the night on SmackDown with Andrade. It was a tag team match, which was
Why
great.
are they not? Why? So they're not going to put the guys back together.
I just don't think it makes sense at all for Penta. Sadly, like he's so over, and he's such a good single star. And I know we're going to talk about it in order, but the fact that they have him
in the run-in,
even like near the WWE Championship, is insane to me. Like he deserves it. Like
I liked that,
but they must trust him so much for him to already be in that picture. It's crazy, but Rey doesn't give off that. Like, Rey's a great worker, but I just, like, for some reason Penta has that it factor from like the crowd, like the entrance and the gear and the mask and all this stuff.
Except for they have Lance Anui, which So how? So there's more coming.
Yeah, one just got born. A new one just got born. Maybe we just don't realize.
Okay, Queen of the Ring. Okay.
I gotta say, before we talk about it, I think this was the worst match of the night.
Horrible match. And let me just say, this drove me nuts. The snowflakes on the eyelids and then the eyes in the thing. She had the fake eyes.
The fake abs, too. She had abs over her abs.
Everything was so fake. Now, I just thought this was kind of odd and overdone. Also, Asuka was weird. And the one thing I want to say, did you notice all the women had to wear completely covered up outfits in Saudi Arabia, right? Because of how women are there. I couldn't believe Raquel and Rhea in those black.
Yeah.
They must have been dying.
Yeah. In like leather.
It was so hot and humid. I don't know. Jade was sweat. I mean, how do you wear all this? I mean,
it's crazy.
Did you notice that? Like,
you didn't see,
you saw no skin on the women.
But they've always had to ever since they started being there. They always had to wear the full thing. They used to wear in the first few ones, not the first. People forget that the first one had no women wrestlers because it wasn't allowed.
It's allowed.
And then the second one they pitched for it and they said you have to wear this. They used to wear that full thing and a t-shirt over it, which was insane. And then
I would be like, hey, listen, we'll do this show, but we can't put our women at danger and have heart attacks.
Yeah.
Because I heard it was super. They said it on the announce team.
Yeah.
So when they're coming out and even out, they're all dressed like this.
Like I can only imagine how hard it is to take it off after.
I can't even imagine.
I can barely take off like an Under Armour like when I'm sweating.
How can they get it? How can they even be in there without?
You have to cut me out of that thing. I'm not even kidding. You have to slice me right out.
Right. So here she's getting kicked by Asuka. I just didn't like this match.
I gotta say, my take on it was that I really like Asuka, and I really like Jade. I'm a big Jade fan.
I love Jade.
I
do too.
I just don't think they had chemistry at all. I don't think the match worked. I don't think their styles work together. Like Jade fits more with like the aggressive, like Bianca Belair, like Tiffany kind of people, and Asuka I feel like fits in more with like the technical wrestlers and those kind of matches, and it just didn't work. I just don't think it worked right.
It didn't work. Here's the Jade.
It never clicked. It just felt like we were waiting to get to that point, and then it was over.
And isn't this the Jaded move?
Yeah.
By her, which looked cool in the photo, but I just kind of thought it was a little clumsy. Jade wins, which I thought was the smart move because
we've been waiting for a while. Like she needs to
need Jade to be elevated, even though she's still a little clunky.
Well,
yeah.
No, what I was gonna say is what I think is that like you could have made the case for Asuka because like then she could go against Io, which would be a really good match. But I think she's gonna go against Io anyway. Like I don't think she needs the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. But the reason I figured Jade was gonna win, and I think this is what's gonna happen, I have a feeling she's either gonna win the championship and Naomi's gonna cash in, because the fact that Naomi has it makes a lot of sense because that's the one that they feuded with, or she's gonna go in the match mid-match and cost her the belt and win anyway.
Here's what I think. Yes, to your point, you're right on it. So you're right on it. The minute this happened, and the minute I saw the booking, I was like, Jade has to win.
Yeah,
she goes to the match at SummerSlam. Naomi cashes in and wins. Naomi, there's no way Naomi's on the.
And then it gives you a perfect storyline for the next until Mania, and they can run it back at Mania with the belt and her again.
Right now, we know that Bianca hurt her fingers.
I think so. I think her hand.
So where do you see the EST fitting into this? So we get to the point of Naomi getting the
championship. Yeah.
Now is Bianca going to go after that?
Triple threat? I think you see a triple threat. I mean, it would be a great match. I mean, it would make the most sense. You know what I mean? It would definitely make sense for a triple threat at Mania.
Okay, so worst match of the night for me. I'm so worried for Jade. I am too. She has improved, but she's still not the level to be a top star. Maybe a run in NXT would have benefited her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just like when you think about like, I was really surprised they didn't do the run only because like, look at Mariah May in NXT. She's probably a better wrestler than Jade already, and she's
Monroe.
Blake Monroe. But she's in NXT, and so like they still do that, but they also not for everybody. So it was kind of weird to not give her that little run.
I want to say, and I had this for you, LJ, and I did not get a chance to upload this, but there was on Instagram, Jade had a photo of her winning, and the first two people that commented like a congratulations were Ricky.
Oh, yeah.
And Blake.
Yeah.
The former AEW stars.
Yeah, who are both like not Blake, but Ricky and Ethan Page just shout them out. I
mean, how did that not work over there?
But that's my main thing is like how many guys are gonna leave there, and it just works better from like I still think more than Punk. I think Ethan Page is having the best run from somebody from post AEW. His work is insane, and I think he's gonna be great on the main roster. His character works perfectly on the main roster, so that's why I'm excited for it.
I am too. Blake Monroe, I want to just say this. I have not liked the promos that were written, that contract signing. It felt like, wait, are you doing a Tony Storm amalgamation? It felt a little Stormish, and I don't want that for her. She's so good.
Yeah.
I'm not liking this packaging of her because it feels like a fake Tony Storm thing.
Yeah, it just feels like she's trying to run back the same like gimmick she had with her, but it doesn't work because she's not here. So it's not.
But almost like she's the Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
I haven't been too interested in it
out
yet.
of her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But wait, what's this? Jade out here looking like I didn't like it. And one more thing. Did you notice, and I think this is a Middle East thing, every time this happened last time, there was Asian and a black woman.
Yeah.
They did this with Bianca. They did not.
They booed the shit out of her.
Why are they booing the shit out of? I don't.
But they did it on SmackDown too. That when the Street Profits came out, they got booed like immediately. And
what is that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like it's more stuff that I guess we don't know about.
But I about their
beliefs or anything. Yeah.
But I'm like, should the WWE even put them in matches there? Because
it's kind of like she was getting booed. She couldn't even speak for the press conference after because she was getting booed so loud, and I felt bad because like that's not like. I think we had this exact same conversation about Bianca winning at one of the other Saudi.
Bianca was booed so bad in there. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, but I like that Jade just took it and talked about what she wanted to talk about, and then just kept going. Like, it's not even worth like interacting with that. So it's
at this point, if AEW starts leaving the company, you might as well start another show. Like the AEW or the Exiters.
Yeah, by themselves and their own show.
I mean, basically.
You have. I just saw a report the other day that they're super high on Aleister Black, that they love the work he's doing.
I know. I find him so boring. What am I missing?
I like Black. I've always liked him. I think.
What is so good?
I love his character. I love his finisher. His finisher is one of the best finishers I think in wrestling. His entrance is great. He's not that great on the mic, so I think that's probably why some people don't really enjoy him because like he can't really speak that much. But I think that they said they want to bump him up into the card. So, but one day we got to do as of right now, who came back from AEW from WWE, and then we got to rank how good their runs have been, like with Penta and Punk and all these guys. That'd be a good one.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Next show. Well, we know those two are doing much better.
Yeah. Well, Penta.
At least Punk so far has not complete. Well, he did injure himself once.
Yeah, but then he's fine. He's okay. Hopefully.
Then he seems to be okay. Okay, then we get Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Now, I found this.
I was pissed.
Kind of annoyed. I was annoyed with what was the point of this.
I was pissed. I'm sure you've seen like the Karrion Kross like hype train, and that we basically made this happen, the fans, because like he was not on the show. I'm on that. I loved Karrion Kross like ever since he was on TNA, and even his indie run, like he was huge. And then his NXT run was crazy. He was like a 2-year champion and he didn't lose. And for some reason, it just never worked out on the main roster. They had him at these weird gimmicks that didn't make sense. And now you have him back to what he was against a guy that can wrestle in Sami Zayn. And you finally give him the chance. Like he goes from not wrestling for over a year and a half. And then his first match back is on a PLE in Saudi Arabia. And I was like, oh my God, maybe they're finally going to do this. And they just have him lose clean.
Where does he go? I don't know where.
Who doesn't have a path either? Where does Sami go after this? Let's say he doesn't fight. Let's say he doesn't fight Karrion Kross. Who does he fight next? Like there's nowhere really else for him to go.
Unless somehow Sami and Karrion somehow come
It's the only way. It's the only way it would make sense.
Come together as a team.
Yeah. It's the only way.
That's the only way I can see this going.
Is if he finally gets him to be like, because that's the storyline. He's like, just admit that you're a bad guy. He's like trying to just admit it.
Just admit you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Come with me. So something has to happen.
I hope it does, because I don't want them to just end this storyline, because Karrion is doing good work and he gets like 30 seconds backstage. That's like all he gets. And his entrance is one of the best entrances in all of wrestling.
Karrion Kross needed the win the most. What is he going to do now? What we're saying.
I just don't get the point. Like, have him win dirty. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, but why clean? Like, what? I don't get the point.
I'm wondering. So when we get to maybe Monday Night Raw, or we get tomorrow, or down the line, something happens, and maybe Karrion helps save Sami.
Yeah, that's probably the most logical one. And Sami's gonna stare at him like, I don't need your help and stuff like that.
But he does help him some way, and helps him win something.
Yeah,
comes to his aid, and
because he wants to admit that he needs to cheat to win, like one of those things.
Yeah. Right? He's gonna show him you need to cheat.
He's told him, he's like, look, everyone else does it, and you don't, and that's why you're not gonna be champion.
I think that's where this is going. I think they're gonna be tag team partners.
I wouldn't mind it. I think that'd be smart. I mean, Karrion was fine in the ring. I'm not saying he's like a 5-star match guy, but I think he's fine. The crowd's behind him. You have something that the crowd's behind as a heel.
I'm giving this a D.
Yeah, I give it. If Asuka and Jade is an F, this is a D. I'll give it right above that.
I think that I agree. This is a D for me.
Yeah, it was just a dud. Like, it just didn't really hit me.
It was a dud, and you want to know what? I'm sitting here watching it. I'm like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, because it was early here.
Yeah.
And I got up early, and I literally was putting me to sleep. Sami and Karrion were putting me to sleep. So was Jade and Asuka.
Yeah, the back-to-back wasn't a good back-to-back to have.
I mean, they really shouldn't have been on the card, actually. I mean, they needed to do Jade. I understand.
Originally, the Karrion match was supposed to be Styles and Dom, and that's why they put that on the card. And then they added that to the card because they took him out. So Styles and Dom probably would have been a more entertaining match. I mean, I'm actually excited to see that at some point. I did want to shout out, though, we talk about tag teams before we talk about the main event. What's going on with this Charlotte Alexa Bliss thing? Are they going to be a tag team? Is that what they're setting up?
Where is this going?
Are they? I think they're setting them up to be a tag team. I just don't get why. It's weird. I don't mind it. I'm interested. I just don't really get it.
Why are we not getting Alexa Bliss pumped higher?
Yeah.
Did they bring her back to get her stuck?
I think that what I read, and I also kind of agree with, I think they're using Alexa Bliss, who's so over, as a chance to try to get Charlotte to get cheered again, like as a face. That's what I think they're trying to do and see if it works.
I think Charlotte is so trashed right now by the WWE Universe. It was botched.
Yeah.
I don't know why you had her come back the way she did.
Yeah.
I mean, I get winning the Royal Rumble, but then after that, she was just mean.
Yeah, I don't like. She's great in the ring. I just don't think I never enjoyed her outside the ring. I thought in the ring she was great, but other than that, I don't get too interested in it.
And then, have you been watching the Zoe Stark updates?
Not recently.
So I've been watching her Instagram.
Yeah,
and it's really interesting because she did this one moment where she's reading from the phone that Zoe Stark has done, and she's not. So for a minute, you think she really won't be able to come back, and then she flips it and said, she's showing us her rehab is what she's going through. Yeah. That was awful. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen it.
When she comes off, loses.
Oh, her injury. Yeah.
Awful.
It was bad. Yeah.
It was bad. It reminded me of the Sid Vicious thing when his leg was turned completely the wrong way on live TV.
That's like what
WCW.
When this guy got hurt, Bronson Reed, when he broke his ankle when he jumped off the top, he landed right on it. It was gross.
Really gross.
Yeah.
All right. So let's set this up. Now give me a minute. So we got Punk and Cena.
Two great entrances, by the way.
Two great entrances. But can we first talk about how funny and great this was? I want to give Punk an Emmy for this. This was on SmackDown, and he comes out to get back at Cena for the pipe bomb.
Well, the pipe bomb, we'll say first. I was had a feeling it was going to happen because there was rumors. But whatever you thought about Cena's heel run before that promo changed everything. That promo, that's the heel Cena we should have been getting since the beginning. Not the corny one that was hitting people with belts, even though I didn't mind it. That promo right there is what, it's more the arrogant Cena and not the Cena because you guys hate me. That one didn't make any sense. This one was perfect, and the promo was great. I mean, even him shouting out Matt Cardona and
all of that was great.
It was great.
because people were like trying to figure out what does it really mean? What does
Yeah.
that really mean? What does
It was
really
great. And then when Punk walked out with that, the Punk life, and then the best part was when he did drug free with the things. That was the funniest part of the whole thing. It was hilarious. It was great.
I really thought, yes, I agree. Cena was great. And I've not liked his heel run because I didn't understand this I hate you fans thing. But Punk was so funny and perfect in this.
Yeah.
And the outfit, it's like, how can you not?
And I wonder if he pitched that, or I wonder if Cena pitched it, or if a writer did. Like, I want to know like whose idea that was to do that because it was great.
I'm dying to know because it was great, and we were online, a bunch of us, and we were like, Cena, Punk deserves an Emmy nomination.
No, it was like
And by the way, why aren't the WWE guys up for Emmys?
I know. I mean,
that?
I seriously think
that primetime television show.
The 3-year Bloodline saga should get an Emmy. It really should.
And Roman.
Yeah, just like the whole storyline there.
Right. I would like to see a day that the WWE can compete and should be. There's no reason.
Well, all you gotta say, think about this. Let's say Stranger Things wins an Emmy, right? Because they put on 5 seasons in a 10-year span. But what about WWE putting on a Bloodline saga every single Monday and Friday for 3 years? It's way more content than you get when you're watching a show. It's every single Monday and Friday they have to think of something new to write. That's the crazy. That's what what I'm excited for. That have you seen the WWE Unreal documentary that's coming out on Netflix? That it's only about the writers' room. I am so excited to watch it. I can't wait.
So now you'll see.
Yeah.
Now again, this is kind of what I went through, and when I saw that they were doing that, I'm very curious to see. And I do want you to come back so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk to you about what I went through 25 years ago compared to what they're going to show. Yeah. I'm interested to know, is anything changed?
Yeah. I mean, and they said they're going to go like all out, which is cool. So
I think it's really great that they're lifting up the curtain because there's nothing worse than when I hear people say to me, ugh, I can't believe you like wrestling. It's so fake. People think it's. I go, no, they don't.
No, it's not.
We all understand that it's planned.
Trust me, it's okay.
It's okay.
You didn't tell me,
Michael, I can't believe you like this shit. It's fake. And I'm like, yeah, I know that.
No, and you know what the funny part is? Like, is that for me and most wrestling fans that still watch it, that never stopped watching it, the wrestling is actually not even the main part of why we watch it. The wrestling is just like the added on to it. We watch it because it is something you can watch every single Monday and Friday, and the most of the time on Monday and Fridays it's promos. That's most of the time. It's really not that many matches anymore. So we don't even watch it for the wrestling. We watch it because it's a storyline that we want to see what happens next. Every single show is
same reason I watch General Hospital.
Yeah.
It's a storyline, right?
Every single show is a cliffhanger, whether it looks like one or not, because you want to see what happens next.
I rest my case.
Yeah, I think we need to start getting some eyes over here.
Yeah,
yeah, we have the Slammies, but they choose those.
Hey, where are the Slammies, LJ?
They do them on YouTube now.
They used to be really funny and really
funny. I loved it. I didn't mind it, but that was the PG. But that was the PG era that people hate. So,
should we start our own wrestling award show?
I think that'd be a good idea because I think that'd be really smart. We should do some funny, like we could do like the John Moxley. We could do the John Moxley Award, and that's who bled the most. That's who bled the most.
I think we got to do it.
Yeah, I think we got to stop saying it on here before someone steals our idea.
We'll reveal the winners on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be funny.
I think we'll come up with our own title.
Yeah.
I think the John Moxley Bleeding Award is perfect.
You get a razor if you win. A razor
like, who can blade themselves the worst?
Yeah.
Yep, I agree with LJ. Many here for the storyline. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Which is different. Do you feel AEW has the storylines better now, or do you think it's still like the wrestling is just so much?
I'm so checked out on AEW. Like I watch it because like it's there sometimes. Like I'll throw on the TV, but I've never been so uninterested in that product.
Why do you think you're so checked out?
I just don't. I don't think I like anyone there. Like as a fan, like I'm not like a fan of anybody that's over there. All my favorite wrestlers, even the ones that left. Like the ones that were in AEW were the ones that I watched. So they all came back to WWE. Like I loved Aleister Black. I loved the Hardys. I loved Penta. And they all came back. So like I really have no I don't like Kenny Omega like as like a fan. Like I don't like I'm not like a big fan of his. Like the main guy the one that I wish came to WWE that never will, that the only guy I really enjoy watching is Hangman Page. I think he's great.
Well, Hangman's my guy. That's my favorite guy of all because I think he can do it all.
Yeah. He's the most aligned with like WWE.
Why not bring him right? And now, what do you think? Do you think they'll give him the title in Texas? I
hope so. I really do. I think it'd be great.
Stand this Moxley thing, and I'm so glad they went back. See, I like the Adam Page. That's the good guy. I did not like the I'm going berserk over Swerve Strickland, and I'm going to set fire to his house.
Yeah.
Like I thought they had to get out of that. All right, so I'm going to show you Cena and Punk. First of all, tell me about the entrances, what you thought of the crowd.
I thought it was cool that they just cheered for both of them the whole match. Like they just couldn't decide. It was great. They were so loud for Punk's entrance and Cena too. I mean, it was really cool to watch. And it was really nostalgic to see that match even happening. And then I don't know if you caught it that Punk was wearing the 2011 Money in the Bank gear.
I did. It's amazing. I'm going to show you some images from this match. So
do you think with situations like that, like as a fan, what do you think about it is like that maybe Punk is like, I gotta wear the OG, like the callback ring gear? Because I'm sure if he didn't wear it, no one would care. But the fact that he does those things is also part of why I love these storylines, because they do these callbacks all the time, but they don't acknowledge it. Like Michael Cole didn't like say, oh, and look at CM Punk, he's wearing the 2011 Money in the Bank. But I think that it's a nod to the OG fans that have been here for so long that we get to see it and be like, oh, look at now I feel like I'm a kid again, and I realized it.
You're so correct. So here's what I think. These are all Easter eggs, they call them, to wink links to the fans.
Yeah.
This is like, look how cool this is, fans. We're not going to say it.
Because it's not meant for that.
It's not meant for that. It's meant for like us to be like, look, he's wearing the da-da-da.
Yeah, the ones that went through all these years of having Punk not there and all that stuff.
It's like on soap operas or special episodes where they'll do like wink, wink, nod, nod to the fans without saying it.
Yeah.
It's in the dialogue.
And Vince has and Michael Cole has talked about, like, if Vince was around, he would have made them say, like, look at CM Punk wearing the
look at my underwear.
Like these fans aren't like the fans aren't dumb. Like we know. Like it's like Punk wore the Punk does it a lot actually, which I realized, but Punk wore the gear he wore for Mania was the gear he wore for his last Mania match, like in MetLife. That was the last Mania match he had. And like he wore the same exact gear with Paul Heyman. And I thought that was great. But they didn't have to say that he was wearing the same gear. It just happened.
I want to go in before we get to the whole mess at the end. I want to talk about the match itself. Mm-hmm. I actually thought these old guys did great.
No, I loved it. I think
it was a great match. Like the shuffle.
That was the best. The one you just
I know. And then, so then it wasn't. I thought the match was great.
No, I thought it was a good match. I think they just always have chemistry. It's like they probably don't even have to call the match together. They just know what to do with each other. It's honestly great. I like that we got the same old, like the good old 5 moves of doom from Punk and Cena. Like the same. We got to see both of their little callbacks. It was great. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a great match, and it was really fun watching it.
In every championship match, it all breaks down into complete chaos. They're wrestling just fine.
But I don't. The thing is, I don't know why I love it. I don't even know why it cares. I think it's because it fits. Like I as we start talking about it, first I gotta say, like I talked about it before, it's when you talk about everybody in general, is Cena, Punk, Penta, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed,
Braun Breaker.
That was. And the Money in the Bank briefcase. That was everybody. And the fact that you had all those guys in there, and I don't think that there was one part where I was like, damn, this is kind of stupid. I think it flowed perfectly. Like, it's so hard to book those massive things and not make it look stupid. And I don't think it did.
I thought it was great because there's so much. You're like, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? So first of all, the setup is Cena first wants to go cheat with the belt. He decides not to.
Which is going to give us a little insight
I'm
to
all
what's
like,
going to happen.
he's going to turn. Oh,
they're
maybe
teasing it. He's going to be a face at the end, and I'm not happy about it. I wanted it to be a heel.
I don't know. Because I was like, oh, they're teasing it. And then somehow he takes out, the referee goes out.
He goes to the shoulder tackle, and then
he goes tackles the ref.
Ducks, and then he goes out.
Do you think that was intentional or it was supposed to be a mistake?
No, that was a mistake. I think that was Punk literally just ducking out of the way. And he was there. Yeah.
But didn't Cena hit the referee and the referee went out?
Well, that was when he came running. Remember the first referee, Cena went to go do the move he does like before the 5-knuckle shuffle, and then Punk ducked and he was standing behind Punk, so he hit him.
Right. So that was an inadvertent.
Yeah, because I think they were showing that was right after Cena didn't use the belt. So I think they're showing that he's starting to not do those things as much.
Right, which is all a ruse.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have that.
So then Punk's calling out for the ref.
So then the ref comes out.
No, Punk's calling out for the ref, and Seth comes out.
And Seth comes out, right.
Attacks Punk.
Wait. Yeah, Seth comes out.
Yeah.
Attacks Punk.
And then when Seth is calling for the ref,
comes out,
which I love, dude. They look so sick. They're so cool.
I'm very upset about my Sethala. He's turned into such a crud.
But it's so good though. It's awesome.
You know I love Seth. So then there was this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you think Cena was pissed at him?
Well, this was right. So Seth beats up. Cena's laying there, dead. No, Punk's laying there dead, and they're calling out for the ref, and Cena murders Charles Robinson, running down the ramp.
Wait! I have this.
That was awesome. It was so.
I
good.
loved that so much when he.
Because you know what's funny? No one's ever
This is it. I was like, I can't wait to show LJ this.
But you know what's so good though? That was the most realistic thing possible because no one ever takes out the ref when someone's gonna cash in. Cena's like, you're not cashing it on me. I'm taking out the ref. It was great.
That was so great.
And then he goes in the ring and argues with Seth. And when they had that, so first, whenever I see Seth and Cena in the ring together, it's so nostalgic because like they had so many good matches together for like a while, and like that was when Seth was a heel. So it was weird seeing them with the briefcase again because it's like a callback. But I kind of liked that they didn't just like fight each other automatically because they're both heels. So they were arguing with each other. Like it doesn't affect you. It's not.
But I have a question. Let me interrupt you. In this showdown moment when they were there, was Cena not concerned that Seth is going to cash in?
I think he was, but I think he was trying to tell him like, dude, like get out of the ring. Like,
get out of my way.
But then when he gave him the AA, it was very like babyface vibes of Cena. Like that's what it was. Like it was a callback. It was all these teases for him being a face. Like that was another tease.
So we get the big mess, and then we get Seth hitting Punk with the briefcase. Seth stomping Punk. And then Cena wins, but before that he gives this.
I thought that was the best part.
They're like, Cena's turning a face.
That was the best part of the entire match.
Just
staring right at the camera like that. Only Cena's allowed to do that.
And I have to say, I used to think John Cena was a sucky actor, but he's really good.
No.
He's really good. I'm just trying to say, back in the day, I was like, oh, he's just so hammy. This was fantastic.
He was so funny. Like I was dying laughing when he looked but like he could have done that, and they could have kept the shot out. But them zooming into his face was the best part of it.
But look how great that was. They had to figure that out,
and it was basically like, and it was like I feel like. Them doing that and him not just looking nowhere but looking at the camera, it was more of like does this guy really think I'm this stupid? Like he was like talking, it was like he was talking to us, like the viewers at home. And I gotta say, those things like that, specifically right there, you don't get when you're at the show. So that's part of why I feel like it's meant to be watched on the TV, even though I love being at the arena. But these events are meant to be watched as a fan at home because you get to hear the crowd.
There's no way in the audience, in the press box, anywhere you can get this.
None.
Because remember, we talked about it. They're all telling a story.
Yeah. It has to be in that box. That's where it goes.
How do I see
this stuff on the outside?
They're all doing the thing. And then this was great. The smirk.
Yeah.
I pulled it off by one after deceiving everybody.
No, I have no complaints about this match. I thought it was great. I thought the ending was perfect. I thought it gave everybody a chance to be involved. I think that when I heard when the Bronson Reed is choking out. It's funny. There's literally a clip. Bronson Reed's choking out Cena in the corner, and Penta's doing his little walk instead of running down the ramp. He's doing his slow motion La Parka walk, even though he should be going to go beat up Braun Breaker.
La Parka walk.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing
is being choked out. He's doing his walk down the ramp. He had to do it.
I couldn't believe how funny that was. He's like, I'm gonna walk out here, but the whole thing is falling apart.
And then we did get the little what I was talking about before. We did get the little when Bronson Reed, even though it would have been beneficial to Punk. Bronson Reed was going to do the tsunami to Cena, and then Punk pushed him off, and then Cena gave him the AA, so we were working together, which I thought was cool. So they're definitely teasing it.
So now what do you see coming out of this? By the way, Cena was absolutely great. I really also thought Punk was great in this match.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think he looks like a clunky old man, but I thought he was great.
I feel bad because I feel like they're not. Deep down, I truthfully don't think he's gonna get. By the time he's done in like 3 or 4 years, I don't think they're gonna give him. I think they're gonna keep doing this with the belt and not give it to him. I don't think he's gonna get it.
What you have to understand, all I was thinking about yesterday was, what is LJ doing watching his very favorite John Cena against his other favorite CM Punk? What was going on?
I think only
with anybody.
So like Punk's like my favorite. Like I think Punk's my favorite wrestler of all time. Like I think like I've never stopped liking him. Like even when he was gone, like I always used to watch YouTube Punk videos because I never got over him being gone. But Cena's like always been like my childhood favorite. So like Cena, like I don't want Cena to lose. I want Cena to retire with the championship. That's just what I want. So like I was rooting for Cena. I didn't want Punk to win.
You were not rooting for Punk.
I figured. But I was glad that it ended in a way where it was like Punk doesn't look like he's just like worse than Cena because like it was all the stuff that happened. But
we got some comments here. Back to Jade's 2 count was a major disaster.
Yeah, she almost rolled over it.
We do agree. Zephyr says, same Michael. I always thought John was a bad actor because he was always overreacting to things, but I just love how he plays with his face. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This new version, and as John's become an actor in film, I think
you know what I think it is? I don't know if you're like as into like Cena's movies and shows, like all of them. Like I've seen a good amount of them. And like and I think this is a callback to him in wrestling. You guys say he was a bad actor, but he is not the greatest actor when it comes to like comedy relief stuff. I think he's a bad actor. I think he's like his Peacemaker stuff and his Street Fighter. I mean, Fast and Furious. He's a heel and he's a bad guy in those movies, and it's way better. I think he's subconsciously a better actor as a heel.
Are you going to watch Heads of State?
I think it looks interesting. I think it looks pretty funny. I want to go. I would like to watch it.
Universal, John did an exceptional job last night. I agree. 100% kudos to John. Exceptional. It really was.
Yeah.
It was really sensational.
I think that where we're going from here. So the one thing I can't really predict, I really don't know where we go with like everybody being against Seth, like all the guys that he screwed over in the Money in the Bank match, like all of them coming out and beating him up too. And that whole group, like, I don't know what that's setting up. Like, I don't know what Penta's going to do with like in this scenario. Like, I don't know where he goes with this. Like, does he just feud with Breaker? Does he just feud with Bronson Reed? Like, I don't know. The only thing I have a prediction with is Seth. And I truthfully think this is 100% happening. And if I'm wrong, everyone can hate me. I think we're getting Cena and Cody, obviously, at SummerSlam. And I think we're getting Seth and Punk again at SummerSlam. And then I think we're getting a Seth cash-in and beating Cody and not and not Cena. I think Cody's gonna beat Cena, sadly.
Okay, well, wait. Okay, let's go with that. Then you're saying your hope that Cena goes out all the way is not happening.
I want it to happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
It might. Let me add to your good theory.
Yeah.
So Cody wins back the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Seth cashes in on Cody.
Yep.
Does that happen at SummerSlam?
And I think it happens right after.
Right.
I think it happens right after the match.
Then all I'm thinking is before Cena leaves, he gets the belt back, or just he has to have a belt match with Seth.
I really want, if it doesn't happen where he retires as a heel and he's the champion, I think it would be great to get a second run for like a month and a half as a face, and the crowd can finally cheer him and like all this stuff, and he gets another title run, and he goes against Seth again or all this stuff. Because they're not doing Punk. The one thing I was upset about, I think there was way more layers to this final Punk Cena rivalry. I think they could have kept. I could have thought they could have done this for a little bit longer, but they keep calling it one final time, so I guess it's not happening. But I still think there's so much left there, and it sucks because I don't.
How great are they together though? All those years,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, right?
I mean, they carried the worst era of wrestling on their back. It was just them two.
Okay.
It was literally it.
I'll share this with everyone. John's last friend to be in December in his hometown in Boston, confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay, then I do not see.
No.
Your point, Universal. He has to be cheered out of the building, like off the roof.
Well, I guess quickly we can talk about, because I was trying to think about this yesterday. I have no prediction on his final match, like who it's going to be. Zero. I truthfully don't know. But the one thing I did say was that there's no way they don't know already, because if they didn't know, they wouldn't have already done Orton and Punk and Truth already.
Everybody's out. They're all out.
All those guys I would have thought could have been his last match. So I don't know who it's going to be, but I really don't. I seriously have no prediction.
Wait, now hold on. Double C. But the W title on SmackDown, would that make Seth go to SmackDown? Okay.
There is a draft coming up soon.
There's a draft coming up, but the other thing we've talked about incessantly since you and I've done this show, it doesn't make any difference. They draft people.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it always just ends up being, they just do the draft for ratings, but it's literally just like.
But it ends up like it doesn't. They're all I see more as a call up from NXT.
Yeah, that's basically it.
So does Blake Monroe get called up?
I think she's gonna have a long run there for like a year and a half. I can see Ethan Page getting called up though. I think he's 100% getting called up,
and not Ricky.
I think he can stay. I think but Femi's gonna get called up too,
because he's big,
and I think the crowd loves him too, and the entrance works and stuff.
And why did Treat Williams end up? Is what is he? Trick Williams. I said
the TNA champion.
I said Trick Williams. Yeah,
Treat Williams.
Treat Williams is the actor. Trick Williams.
He's the TNA champion, right?
I know. I thought he was going to get called up at one point.
I guess not, or maybe he will with the championship. I'm just waiting for the Hardys to come fight again. That's all I care about.
What will you do if the Hardys are Cena's final match?
Well, I was freaking out because they fought in NXT, and I was like, "Damn, can they find the main roster again?" Like, I like NXT, but still.
So, where do you see Punk going now? Does he have nowhere with Seth, right? I
think it's still going to – I still think that we're getting some type of so, like, this is what my uncle said. Now, I don't think they're going to do it at SummerSlam, but he thinks at some point with the way this is going, we're getting a Cena, Punk, Rollins, and Cody fatal 4-way for the championship, the way that's going, because they're all costing
Cena,
Punk, Cody, and Seth. He thinks we're getting a 4-way title match because they're all costing each other.
But isn't the whole point that we gave, because Seth is on this big run now, that we're giving him the power with wouldn't he first cash in?
No, I think he's going to cash in. I don't think it's going to happen at SummerSlam. I think at some point we might get that right after, because they all got screwed by Seth and his group. So I think we might get a fatal 4-way with them four, which would be an insane, which would be great. It would be awesome.
And you are liking, I love Seth. Like Seth is my favorite.
Yeah,
but
I am
I'm not
liking it.
loving this.
I am only because I love Braun Breaker. I think he's great.
But don't you feel, LJ, that Braun Breaker, who is so amazing, is now relegated to the thug position instead of being his own thing?
I think it fits his character way more than being by himself. I think it works because when he does turn on Seth, it's gonna be great.
I want him to turn on Seth.
Yeah, because no one's gonna stop cheering Breaker, so he could be a face. It doesn't even matter. He could be a face or a heel. It doesn't matter what he is. And I think Bronson Reed is on the same level as Raquel. I think she's way under deserved. Like I don't think anybody talks about her enough.
Universal Braun is one-dimensional.
I definitely I can see that. Like I definitely get what you mean. Like I don't think he has he can't really promo, I guess, but like that's why I think honestly I agree because I think that's why it works with this position he's in because it's less stress on him.
Less stress on him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to talk.
Less eyeballs.
Do that. I was never a big Bronson Reed fan, so I don't love that. What I wanted to see is Seth and Heyman completely destroying everybody. I didn't love the fact that we had to have the thugs. I felt it brought Seth down a notch instead of making it. I just didn't think he needed it.
Yeah. I don't mind it just because it's something different. I would just like them for maybe add one more, a girl or a guy. I think
I want Becky.
Yeah, I think it'd work.
Becky needs to be, and I don't like what she's doing, but I would like her to be the Heyman girl.
Yeah, it would make sense. I don't really have any other. The only other person that would work is like Naomi, but she doesn't need it. She's doing great work, so it doesn't matter.
Universal, I'll share this. 16 main roster wrestlers are currently injured right now. 16, 2 more possibly injured last night. Yes. And I also want to say I really thought I love the Kevin Owens interview with Cody. That was on Cody's show.
I wonder who got injured today. Tell me who got injured.
Who got injured? Who are you saying got injured? Bex is boring.
Universal. I don't think I've ever agreed with somebody more than in my life. I'm so over it.
Universal, are you really LJ's friend?
I know. I'm just texting I'm just texting from my phone onto the thing.
Oh, for the answer, Rhea and Randy. Well, I know
Rhea
in the ribs. Did Randy really get hurt in the back?
I'm not sure, but it's definitely a lot of people are definitely injured. Like you said, it's a
real hit list of
right before SummerSlam, which isn't great.
You
know what we have coming up? Goldberg's final dance.
Let me talk about that. Like, first of all, that promo couldn't have been worse. People were really hating on it. In Atlanta, of course. Also,
he's gonna win.
He's gonna win. Is he?
No, I'm joking.
No.
I hope so. I hope not.
He's not gonna win. It's gonna be one match. Thank you very much.
Realistically,
Bret Hart in the head and smashing your arm into a limousine when you're
realistically, the match should be a squash match. Gunther should because Gunther's that guy. Gunther's like the big bad guy that's unstoppable. He should squash him. That's how it should be. But Goldberg's not allowing that.
I'm thinking because I saw this that Goldberg's son is going to get into the match.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
I'm saying Bill Goldberg's son, who they said if he doesn't make it in football,
what are you're Bret Hart? You call him Bill Goldberg?
He's
because Bret Hart only calls him by Bill. That's only calls him by his first name.
Bill Goldberg. I know.
Because he hates it. Because Goldberg hates being called Bill.
There was a funny thing yesterday that happened. I'll share with you. They announced Whoopi Goldberg is going to be in an Italian soap opera. It was news on mainstream.
Yeah.
Somebody texted me, Goldberg is going to be in a soap opera. I went, Bill Goldberg is going to be in a soap opera.
That's great.
Like, Bill Goldberg is going to be an Italian soap opera. They go, no, Whoopi. And I went, oh.
Oh, that Goldberg. Or like if you could have done, imagine this the other way around. You're like, oh, Goldberg's fighting for the title, and you're like, Whoopi Goldberg's fighting for the title.
Fighting for the title. Gage, that's right. Goldberg's son said that his dad will have more than one match. No. No, because Goldberg hurts people.
No, you're not allowed. That's it.
Goldberg hurts people by mistake in the ring. So we don't want that. And then Evolution, I don't know what the matches are.
They haven't announced any yet.
Because half the girls are injured.
Yeah. We're gonna bring back Kelly and
Kelly. Okay, last comment of the night. If Goldberg was in his 2000s run, then I can see him beat Gunther.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, I know. Whoopi's in Italy for Basil's wedding. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That I wrote about it on michaelfairmantv.com. That was the article I wrote, and then it was just funny that it said Goldberg. I was like, wait, Bill Goldberg is doing an Italian soap opera after he does.
Who do you think pops up first? If you look up Goldberg on Google, who do you think pops up first, him or her? I would assume him, right? Because she's Whoopi.
I'm gonna try right now. Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, so he's more famous.
Like Goldberg.
Yeah, he goes by Goldberg.
Right, it's not Bill Goldberg.
It's not Gilbert either.
Yeah, it's like Bill Goldberg. All right. So
what are you giving the show?
I'm giving the show
because it was very top heavy. It was and bottom heavy.
I'm going to give the show a B.
Give a B plus. I'm being generous.
You're being very nice, but yeah. I kind of wanted to give them a B plus. I'm saying a B. What are we giving Are you giving the A to Punk Cena?
A, yeah, a straight A.
Straight A to them. Asuka and Jade get a D. No, F.
An F.
So Solo and Jacob get a B plus.
I think a B plus. Yeah, I liked all of it.
Sami and Karrion get an F.
Yeah, I didn't really.
A D. Wait,
who's D.
A D?
Yeah, and then Orton and Cody get a. I would say an A.
B plus, and then the street fight got an A.
Yeah, the street fight got an A.
So if we average that out,
like an A.
It's gotta be a B. No, because you got a D.
A minus. A minus.
Okay, Universal saying 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, usually, yes, that's basically what it is.
I just feel we could have done without Sami.
I think we're just ready for SummerSlam.
Right.
Yeah. I should be there, so let's see.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for all your comments. That was great. And thank you.
Yeah, that was the most I think I've ever had on here before with you.
Yes. So. Wait. Oh. Thank you guys for the live. I was so happy to interact with you because I don't get the chance. I also want to add that I love your work, Michael. Wrestling podcasts and interviews, you rock. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here. We'll be back,
guys. Michael Fairman breaks his nose for you guys in the press box of wrestling events just to get interviews for you guys.
I break my nose and lose my teeth.
Like you would think you're going to fight for wrestling at that point.
When I come back, people assume I was in the ring, not reporting on it. It's great. All right. Thank you, LJ, so much.
All right. Thank you.
We will be back. Keep tuning into the Michael Fairman channel and have a great Sunday, everybody. Thank you.